Dragon Ball Super versus Dragon Ball Daima. Two eras, two philosophies, one franchise. But which one was better? The answer might seem obvious to a lot of you, but I disagree on that one. I'd say not quite. Super gave us divine power, multiversal clashes, and transformations that broke the scale. It took the Dragon Ball world and blew it wide open. Now, it does have its flaws, but you can't just ignore the positives, fam. Daima, on the other hand, took us back. Not just back in time, but back to what Dragon Ball used to be. A kid Goku, a mysterious, magical threat, and a world that didn't need gods to feel big again. So, today, let's talk about both the highs, the lows, what they gave us, what they meant, and the real question, which version of Dragon Ball left the bigger mark? But before that, please support the channel by dropping a like and a subscribe quickly, man. It helps me create more content for you guys and it motivates me to keep improving. But as I said, bros and duets, with enough support, we'll be able to dish out more of these videos more consistently. I appreciate y'all, fam. Alright fam, let's get back to the video. When Dragon Ball Super first launched, fans had but one question: can it really live up to Z? And then Goku turned into a god, a Super Saiyan god to be more accurate. From the first arc to the final episode, Super was built on escalation, new forms, new universes, new gods, and new characters that defined an entire generation of Dragon Ball fans. Now, regarding the new characters in Super, these characters just stick with us, man. Till this day, people still talk about these characters. I'm talking about characters like Goku Black, Kale and Caulifla, the time skip assassin hit, and Jiren the Goat. Also, not gonna lie, I loved the introduction of Goku Black, man. Trunks being chased around by a dark figure and would later be revealed to be black. Personally, I believe this was executed perfectly. Ladies and gents, this is how you introduce a new villain now. Now, Jiren wasn't just strong, he was a wall. Cold, silent, and hiding a broken past that pushed him beyond his limits. His fight with Goku wasn't just physical, it was philosophical. Jiren believed strength was absolute. Goku believed otherwise. Then, Kale and Caulifla exploded into the sea. Finally, we got female Saiyans that can actually go Super Saiyan. And they rewrote what it meant to be a Saiyan. Caulifla was cocky and fearless, my kind of woman. And Kale was anxious, shy, and uncertain, until her rage erupted into one of the scariest transformations we'd seen in years. And when they fused into Caulifla, Goku had to tap into Ultra Instinct just to survive. I can't even lie, y'all. Y'all see Caulifla's design, bro? The crop top and everything? Couldn't have done it better myself, not gonna lie, chat. Not gonna lie, Caulifla's just that fine. Ultra Instinct itself changed everything. Goku no longer relied on brute strength. He moved without thinking, reacting purely on instinct. It was a level of mastery even the gods respected. And then there's Broly, rewritten from the ground up. No longer a screaming villain. Sometimes, he became a tragic force of nature. Someone Goku didn't want to defeat, but wanted to help. A Saiyan who never asked for power, but was cursed with it. The legendary Super Saiyan himself, the man himself, was finally able to control his power and wield it as his own in the Dragon Ball Super manga. All thanks to Beast Gohan and Goku's sparring match. Super gave us characters, lore moments, and in the manga, it went even further. Moro, a sorcerer who stole energy from planets. Granola, the last survivor of a ruined race, is hunting Saiyans for revenge. And Ultra Ego, a form born from destruction, pride, and pain. Black Frieza, the strongest form ever created, to the point where they probably don't know how to continue the story from here on. But honestly, man, we should stick to the anime to keep this a fair fight. Other than that, Super was about one thing: evolution. What happens when the Z fighters aren't just Earth protectors, but players on a cosmic stage? I also did appreciate the fact that in the Mora arc, even the original Z fighters like Krillin, Yamcha, and the others also pretty much got their moments to shine. Super gave us all these sorts of things and did actually try to appeal to its audiences. Super broke the internet with Ultra Instinct and brought the anime community closer than it had ever been before. So whether you like it or not, it had a huge impact on a lot of its audience. Then came Dragon Ball Daima, a bold reset. Goku and the gang shrunk down to kids, not by some random plot device, but by the cunning new villain, Gomah, who used the Eternal Dragon to rewrite the world, and our universe's mightiest warriors, powerless. For the first time in forever, it's not about raw strength. Goku's back to swinging his power pool, not just for style points, but because he has to. No Super Saiyan Blue, no Ultra Instinct, just pure skill, heart, and instinct. And Daima's art style, a love letter to the classic Dragon Ball. Hand-drawn vibes, man. Warm colors and expressions that pop off the screen. Every forest, creature, and setting feels alive, bursting with that old-school sense of adventure and exploration. It's like the original Dragon Ball got a glow up. And let's talk about Vegeta, because even as a kid, he's the prince of all the Saiyans. Proud, frustrated, and brilliant. But Daima hits us with a jaw-dropping moment. Vegeta unlocks Super Saiyan 3, it's raw, and it's straight up fire. Look, I know the debate rages on who rocks Super Saiyan 3, Goku or Vegeta. But in this form, there's a swagger, a grit that makes it iconic. But Vegeta in this form, I was losing it watching him own the transformation like only he could. Now Gomah, this villain's different. He's not out to blow up the universe, he wants to control it. Through magic, manipulation, and some next level scheming, he proves that stripping away power is way scarier than stacking it. And when he snags the Tertian Oculus, his power goes through the roof. Even the whole squad, including Super Saiyan 4 throwing hands, and everything they've got. Gomah is a nightmare. If it wasn't for that one tiny flaw in the Tertian Oculus, he might have won it all. That's how serious this guy and that artifact really were. Here's the kicker. Daima brings back the journey. It's not about who's the strongest in the room. It's survival, strategy, and rediscovering the magic of adventure. Now, let's talk about something the fans can never ignore. The animation. Oh, hell nah, bruh. What the hell is that? Yep, that is what Dragon Ball Super looked like in its earlier stages. Unfortunately, in Super, due to lack of enough time given to the animators, its initial animation was very underwhelming. Most people actually hate Super simply because of this error on their parts. The Goku vs Beerus fight had me dead, not gonna lie. Goku vs Frieza one also as well. It had its horrible moments as well. But in the end, for the most part, it was still enjoyable for me. Though, to be honest, at the time, I didn't care much about animation. Now, that doesn't mean that DBS was an overall train wreck in regards to animation. Dragon Ball Super had its moments of brilliance, especially during the Tournament of Power and the Broly movie, which was animated by legends like Naotoshi Shida and Ryu Takashi. Ultra Instinct Goku vs Jiren, that Broly film, it was a turning point. Fluid, dynamic, filled with raw energy, easily one of the best looking fights in the entire franchise. Earlier Super episodes, not so consistent. Some scenes obviously felt rushed, off model, and lacking the impact Z was known for. It got better over time, but it took a while and some fans weren't having it. Then there's Dragon Ball Daima, and right from episode 1, it's clear, it's different. The animation team is beautiful. They made a deliberate choice to return hand-drawn style visuals with textured shading and retro color palettes. Chikashi Kuba, known for his work on One Punch Man Season 2, stepped in as character designer, and it shows. The line work is thick, expressive, and full of life. It feels like watching Dragon Ball Z with a modern polish. It also does features in Naotoshi Shida himself and Ryu Takashi in the Goku Super Saiyan 3 transformation sequence, which looked beautiful by the way, simply spectacular. Daima doesn't aim to be flashy, it aims to be emotive. It's not just about the impact frames, it's about capturing those classic Dragon Ball expressions, comedic timing, and the atmosphere. So what do you guys prefer? Fluid modern action like the Broly movie, or that retro hand-drawn charm Daima brings back? Honestly man, the animation and Daima, they outdid themselves man. Now, before we wrap up, we just gotta talk about one of the biggest debates in the fandom. Ultra Instinct versus Super Saiyan 4. Two of the most iconic forms in Dragon Ball. One from the future and the other from the past. Ultra Instinct is peak of divine technique. Goku's body moves without thinking, it's calm, fluid, almost godlike, and visually, silver hair, glowing aura, silent intensity. It's everything Dragon Ball Super stands for: evolution, mastery, divine power. Trust me, you don't want to be on the other side of the ring when fighting this transformation, as Caulifla would agree. But then there's Super Saiyan 4, and them I brought it back in high spirit. That red fur, the primal eyes, the callback to Saiyan roots. It's not divine, it's raw. It's not elegant, it's feral. And that's what makes it special and so cool, man. That's why I love it so much. Super Saiyan 4 doesn't just elevate you to a god. It brings you back to what Saiyans were meant to be. Warriors with wild instincts and unrelenting willpower. Back to the Saiyan roots. As I always say, the form looks badass and I kinda didn't like the big hands at the start. But I will admit, these motherfuckers are growing on me, man. The hair, the stance, the fighting style. It's a callback to a form that fans have never stopped loving, and now it's being reimagined for a new generation. So how do they stack up? Ultra Instinct is technique over instinct. Super Saiyan 4 is instinct over control. Raw power. You saw that Kamehameha that he used on Gomah, man. The entire demon realm even quaked from its destructive power. One is born from mastery, the other is born from identity. And that's the real magic of Dragon Ball. It doesn't just evolve for the sake of strength. It reminds us that power can come from divinity or from primal heart of a Saiyan. Now, you guys tell me, if Goku could only keep one, Ultra Instinct or Super Saiyan 4, which one would you guys choose? Me personally, I'd say Ultra Instinct. To be fairly honest, I love Daima Super Saiyan 4 design. It's pretty badass, but I still prefer GT's overall design, and for that, UI is still the better form. And it feels more thought out abilities wise. So here's where it gets interesting. Which one was better? Super had scale, angelic mentors, fighters from universes we never imagined. It built the Dragon Ball universe into something massive. Daima had intimacy, it stripped away the scale and forced us to focus on what made Dragon Ball great in the first place: character, adventure, and mystery. Super gave us iconic moments and epic moments: Goku vs Jiren, Vegeta's speech before unlocking Ultra Ego, Broly vs Gogeta. Daima gave us emotional texture, Goku struggling with his weakness, Vegeta rediscovering his pride without power, and a world that felt full of wonder again. So which one was better, bruh? Now personally, in my own personal opinion, watching them I felt like an adventure, a sort of joyride, man. It made me hungry for the next episode. Comedy wise, Daima might have had the edge. Some of those normal goons made me laugh, and not gonna lie, let's not forget that Vegeta and Bulma scene. Straight up fire, man. It was hilarious. And I won't lie, Super did have its moments, but yeah, Daima was much more better. No complaints in regarding to animation, well, compared to Super. Super at the start obviously felt rushed, but the characters were much more memorable compared to Daima. Goku Black, Jiren, Zamasu, hit. These characters just hit different, man. And till this day, they remain relevant. I get it, there's a lot of hardcore Daima fans out there, but Super had the edge compared to Daima in my opinion. But if you're here for power levels, transformations, and scale, Super was your playground. But if you missed the feeling of discovery, of mystery, of a much bigger world than a single punch, then might remember that's what Dragon Ball used to be, man. Dragon Ball doesn't have to be one thing. It can be a story about gods, it can be a story about kids, it can be about ascension, and it can be about return. Super showed us the future of the franchise. What happens when Goku rivals gods, but Daima showed us the soul of the franchise. Why we cared in the first place. So now I want to hear from you guys. Which one do you think was better, and why? Was it the spectacle of Super or the heart of Daima? Let's talk about it in the comments below, and if you love Dragon Ball as much as I do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, man. This is only the beginning. Alright guys, thanks for watching up until this point, man. I appreciate you guys. I really want to hear what you guys think about this, man. Do you actually love Daima, or do you prefer Super? I still prefer Super, honestly, as I said before. But yeah, you guys can give me your overall thoughts on this. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and yeah guys, I be seeing you guys in the next one. Later fam, y'all are freaking awesome. Alright, peace man.